Hello, I am here on the show floor at the NASGW show in Kansas City at the Kansas City Convention Center. And I am speaking with Kenyon Gleason, who is the president of the association. Hi, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you. It's an exciting day. It's always good to get things kicked off. The anxiety level drops a little bit after the show opens, so it's been a good day.
So it's close to noon, and the show opened today at 9 a.m., right?
It did, yeah, that's right. Technically, we started at about 8 o'clock because we have a special session in the morning for our new exhibitors where we put them in front of the buyers, and so it's been a really popular new thing that we've done. It's kind of like speed dating almost for our new exhibitors, where they get a chance to come in, do a little pitch in front of a larger group of distributors who wouldn't maybe necessarily catch them on the show floor, or because our buyers get so busy and get so many requests that we invented this speed dating kind of concept, and it's just really worked out great. And so now if a buyer sees something cool at the speed date thing, they can make a point to get over to their booth. So that's been fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So is that new this year, or did you start
so
it last year?
So we did it last year, but
Okay.
since it was new, it wasn't, you're like, oh, we only had 5 or 6 people there. This year we had 60 or 70 buyers sitting around here this morning, and about, I think, 15 or 20 different exhibitors gave a quick pitch. So it was fun.
Wonderful. So let's take a step back. Tell me a little bit about the exhibitors who are at the show and how many that you have here today.
Yeah, so we have around 230 exhibitors this year. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact number, but it changes 1 or 2 as we get closer. We used to be about a 300 exhibitor show. We slimmed it back a few years ago to try to make it a little easier for buyers who are trying to have meetings with folks. So we're right around that 230 mark, and that's where we try to stay now. The exhibitors are manufacturers of firearms, ammo, optics, any kind of accessory that's in the shooting sports arena, and so that's the predominant crowd you're seeing here. Most of the people that are in the crowd are workers there, but then we have manufacturer rep groups, we have folks in the service side of things that might be suppliers of software or legal services or things like that, and then of course the distributors, which is who I represent, and so there are probably about 200 buyers here roughly.
Great. And so you said you've been to Kansas City before?
Yeah, we had our show here in 2016. It was my second show ever as the president of NASGW, so it was a rather great experience, obviously, or we wouldn't be back, right? We love Kansas City. Our buyers, our exhibitors like it because centrally located, so our members are obviously from all over the country, so it really works out to have it in a nice central location. And then there's so much to offer in Kansas City. We're close to the Power and Light. There's tons of restaurants and the barbecue and all that stuff. So it just is a really great fit for our crowd.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So in 2021, you were able to host a show, right?
Yes, that's right.
Even though we were still coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah, it was a little tricky. We were in Columbus last year and our numbers were down, but we had the hand sanitizer and the mask rule and all that kind of thing. But we did do the show, and our show works a little better for that than really crowded, crazy consumer show because you got too many people. Ours it's very meeting driven, and so it's very purposeful, the kinds of events that are happening, and there's not, as you can tell, hundreds of people walking the aisles. It's literally, they're all in meetings right now.
A very qualified
and
buyer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier to control that on the hygienic side, and everybody was super cooperative, obviously. But it's nice this year to not have to worry about all that again, and actually our numbers increased considerably over last year, so it's been a really good show for us.
In terms of when you say it's increased a lot, on the attendee side and on the exhibitor side?
On the exhibitor side, we're very
About
similar.
the same.
We're up about 20 or 25 over what we had last year, give or take. But on the attendee side, probably 400 to 500 people more this year than we had last year. So yeah, considerably bigger.
And so total attendance is looking, or what's your
We
pre-reg?
have almost 1,700 people. That was this morning. I assume it's climbed up a few since then, but
Yeah. And what are some of the highlights? If this is my first time coming here, so what should I definitely see?
Oh man, you're asking me the tough questions. There are so many great exhibitors here with all kinds of new products that it's hard for me to really put my finger on anything. I'm a junkie. I love it all, so I'm not a fair person to ask that. But where we're sitting right now, I guess, is probably the highlight for us as an organization. We're in our Scope Lounge, and Scope is our our data analytics program for the NASGW members. And so we've been over the last few years collecting data that we put together, aggregate, and then share back with our members so they have a better idea what's happening, not just with their product, but with all the other products in their space, or products that maybe even aren't in their space. If they're looking to try to see, say you're a ammo company and you want to know what is popular in firearms, you can use our data to help you determine that. So this is a really nice feature. We're also...
Is that a new member benefit, and is it a value add, or is it something that they need to purchase? Or...
So that's a great question, because we just changed that a little bit. So it used to be just a value add. You had to buy a subscription to get access to Scope. This coming year in 2023, we're going to be adding Scope into all of our memberships. And so whether you're just a beginner in data and don't really understand what it's all about, you're still going to get some, and then you can move along. We made it scalable for our members, so more sophisticated companies that are interested in higher levels or volumes, or even downloading the data to use in their own analytics systems, we have that available now. So we've changed how that works for our members, and it's been super well received.
Great. I didn't mean to put you on the spot with exhibitors and
No,
picking
it's okay.
out anyone in
Yeah.
particular. But what about other, so you talked about the thing this morning that was with the buyers and exhibitors. I saw there's a happy hour.
There are some happy hours. That's something that we used to do after show hours, but a lot of times people would tell us, we want to do private meetings with people out at restaurants and take out our best clients and all that sort of thing. So what we've done is incorporate those happy hours actually into the day of the show, and there's plenty of free time for people. You can stop in. We leave them open for a couple hours. Actually, it's not an hour, it's usually a couple hours, so people can come and go as it works in their schedules for meetings and that sort of thing. That's been super popular, and then it frees them up at night to do their own. That's another thing. Tomorrow we'll actually have a data market analysis presentation, so that's an hour-long event over the lunch hour. We're giving lunch to everybody who comes in, and then we'll have probably about 100 folks attend that, maybe a few more than 100. And that's just us going over the market and sharing with them what we're seeing, what changes are happening, what's selling well, what's not selling well, how does the firearms market look, the ammo market, the optics market. We've got some other verticals that we're doing in the Scope data now with holsters and magazines and other different portions of the industry that we're starting to include in that data set as well. So exciting, changing all the time, and we like to share what's happening with the members.
And do you have some, so I understand SHOT Show is here and some other groups, NSSF.
Yes.
So do you partner with these groups to get them to come here? How does that work?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the great things about our industry, the shooting sports industry, is we're all like a family. So yeah, SHOT is here, NSSF. We partner with them on a variety of things. In fact, they're a partner of ours with the Scope data. They're going to be using some of the data for themselves to share information out to a larger audience. Ray's here, Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation folks are here, the Suppressor Association is here. We all work together collectively on a variety of different projects, and anytime, of course, there's major national initiatives, we all work together to try to make sure we're speaking from the same set of song notes. So it's just fun to see them all, and this show, because it's a little quieter, gives us an actual opportunity to talk to each other. The SHOT Show is just so crazy and so busy, like we don't actually get a chance to really sit down and spend a lot of time together, but here at our show, it seems like we get a chance to visit with folks a little better.
And did you have an awards dinner last
night
as well?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we have two different sets of awards. One set of awards is called our Appreciation Awards, and that's really just the wholesalers looking back on the last sales year and saying, these are the companies that really rose above and people we want to call attention to. And so that's voted on just by the wholesalers. And then we have a second set of awards where we partner with the Professional Outdoor Media Association. So our buyers, there are 9 people on the NASGW side, buyers, and then 9 media people who test these products and do reviews on them and that sort of thing throughout the year. We gather together, we look at a list. We had over 200 submissions for awards this year. We whittle that list all down. We have 6 winner categories, and then we pick a best overall product. And so we announced all those awards last night as well. So yeah, that's our fun kickoff event, is to do the big awards presentation. And I'm hearing rave reviews from last night. It was that we cut down the time of it. We used to go about 2.5 hours. Last night we were only about an hour and a half. So they liked that.
That's interesting. I think things are overall at events, coming shorter
Yeah.
attention spans,
Yeah.
maybe shorter time frames, which
Right.
isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not at
Yeah.
all. It was fun. We got in what we needed to talk about and we got to do the awards and share all that information, and folks seem really happy with it. I'm excited. I feel really good about where we're at right now. I think we've a sweet spot with a lot of our different programs and offerings that we have. We don't want to clog this up with throwing everything at it. We've tried to be very intentional and purposeful in the things that we do here rather than this shotgun scattered approach to let's try everything. No, we're going to do what we're good at and we're going to focus on it.
And you said, so you joined the organization in what, 2015?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I came on then, and that was drinking from a fire hose, and now I still drink from a fire hose sometimes, but luckily I got a good team to help filter that down a little bit. But we've changed as an organization so much in the last 8 years, it's hard to even put my finger on it. Like, this scope program didn't even exist. This is all new.
How has the event changed?
Yeah, the events changed dramatically. Like, it was, considerably larger, almost 100 exhibitors larger back then. And just with the market changes, with the changing dynamics of the distribution market, and we've had some distributors leave us, a couple new ones come in. It's just a different world today. You're competing so much more with online or big box and all that. So this is a very focused show. We've spiced it up and we've made it very easy for people to do business here. We've added, like I said, the fun things, the being on the floor with the happy hours, things like that, to make sure that they enjoy their time while they're at the show.
Great. And maybe tell me, like, I just have a couple more questions for you. Maybe your top 5 or some of your largest exhibitors, just a sampling of those.
Sure. Yeah, we've got Glock, we've got Ruger, we've got Smith & Wesson, we've got Leupold on the optics side, Winchester ammo, you name it. Pick a name out there, FN America. Find a name, they're here.
And what about on the buyer side? Who are some of the really big name buyers that people might recognize?
So our larger members would be Sports South, Big Rock, Lipseys, Xanders, Davidsons. Those are probably our largest size distributors that are here, and then we got a multitude of others.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. And then seems like you're having a wonderful show so far. Any challenges this year? Do you have any international buyers that you try to get over? And there's got to be some challenges.
No, that's actually a great point. So 2020 with COVID, we lost all of our international buyers. All of our international exhibitors went away. And so 21 we gained back a few. This year we got a few more back. And so, yeah, we've got wholesale distributors from Canada. We usually get some from New Zealand, Australia, some from Europe, Germany in particular. So typically in a year, we'll have a lot of those folks. It's slowed down now with COVID. We've probably got, I'll say, a fraction, a quarter to maybe half of what we used to have from the international market. I think that'll come back, but yeah, travel's still not quite normalized.
Yeah, not quite 100%. Yeah. Anything fun that you've done here in Kansas City that you would recommend to other attendees or exhibitors? I'm curious.
I don't know if I can reveal all that. I wish I knew the name of it, but there's like a rooftop place near the plaza.
At a hotel, or was it at a restaurant?
It's a special restaurant. It's
Prime Social?
Prime Social, thank you. That's exactly what it is. We actually are going back there again on Friday night, so that place is really cool. We enjoyed it. We did a visit here in August, and that's how I learned about it. And so we were talking with a staff, like, okay, where do we want to go to celebrate when the show's over? And that was one of the top ones on there. But there's so many cool places. We went to Bristol downtown, and then the basketball experience, we're doing that tonight, I guess. And so a lot of cool things here in Kansas City. I love the downtown. The Power and Lights, we had a bunch of people that actually were here early and took part in the football fun and the craziness of the Chiefs game on Sunday. So that was
great. Wonderful. And so where are you at next year, and what are your dates?
Yeah, so we're in Columbus, Ohio next year, and we're the 3rd week of October again next year. That's our standard week that we try to keep the show in. It seems to work best for making sure that we have all the product pricing and new product releases and everything can be ready by that point, but it's not too late in the year so we get into the holidays or anything like that. So we try to stay at that 3rd week of October.
And then you're back here in
again in 24. Yeah.
And then
that'll be our
25th
anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and our 2025 will be in Grapevine, Texas.
Great.
At the Gaylord.
Wonderful. I hope you have a great week
here.
Thank
you so much.
And thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your time
on
this opening day.
Appreciate the opportunity to share.